Well, I think he has. And one hitters are pretty good. It's a hard level to play at. It's a pretty good team over there swinging the bats. They've had some guys that have been extremely hot coming in. So he's had a number of performances where he hasn't had a run, low number of hits, going in 6th, 7th, 8th inning one time. To be able to finish it off, it was some of the indicator numbers that you look for that weren't where you think they might have to be to have this kind of outing. It was just old-fashioned pitching tonight, old-fashioned really good pitching tonight. He was less than 50% on first pitch strikes. He had 8 3-ball counts. Only turned into 2 walks. Only 6 guys retired on 3 pitches or less, so a lot of guys went up there standing up there for 4 or 5 pitches. They got looks at him, but he mixed in the slider, the curveball, and the changeup, and the 2-seamer was so good tonight. Some 4-seam fastballs in at the hands. Pitched an extremely solid, aggressive ball game.
I think you had Adam Frazier on back there before sending in John Owen the decision, putting J.So in, and then
never tell you. Never going to tell you. I had 2 reasons, and I'm not telling you. Just like the other day when we had J.So out there, and then we put Polanco in. Can't tell you.
What can you tell me about the swing you did put on that ball?
Beautiful. The curveball he kept tracking. You know, it seemed like Jordan was committed to it, and I think he would have got where he wanted it. He might have played out different. John had seen a bunch of them in that at bat. And man, what a beautiful swing he put on it.
What makes John successful as a pinch hitter?
You know, I think he's going to be really good to ask. From my vantage point, he's selfless. He's gotten to the point where he realizes it isn't about him winning a game or losing a game. It's about him going out and trying to help us do something in the game. It's one of the things I've shared with pinch hitters over the year, and I learned from Rusty Staub. Early in my pinch hitting career, I put an enormous amount of pressure on myself, thinking I should be able to come and win the game. He said, "Kid, if you were that good, you'd be starting." He said, "You got one shot to go in and clean up usually a mess everybody else has made. First thing you see that you like, take a hack at, and then you gauge it from there." It was a whole different concept for me. After that, I started having a little more success doing it. It just seemed to take away some of the anxiety, some of the urgency. You know, I thought maybe if I had a really good at bat, I might get to play the next day. That usually didn't happen either. John's just in a good place professionally. He's a pretty good fastball hitter across the board. And I think when he can see some other pitches, he's hit a split from for a home run in St. Louis. He hit the curveball today for a home run. He's got a lot of professional hitting attributes to him. It's been a crazy year. The start, then the hot middle, and then the spot that he's just gone through, and hopefully he's sparking again.
Well, how rewarding is it to see a kid like Williams, who not a whole lot of experience, to see kind of a light bulb go on as the season goes on, and see the strides he's made from April to here in August?
Well, he's a guy that we targeted and we're very happy to bring in the organization. As soon as he's gotten here, he's bought into everything we do. You know, the commitment in the clubhouse, the commitment on the side, working. He's very coachable, uses his eyes well, he asks good questions. And then, you know, from our standpoint, my standpoint, I've got to give him some chances to go out there and continue to move the chains and to continue to grow and pitch in those situations that are tight. How fun was it to watch him finish the 7th tonight? So he continues to show development, and he's very humble, and he wants to learn. He loves to compete.
He seems unafraid to go inside with pitches, and against a lineup like this with the Tigers, how important was that tonight?
Well, I really believe for him it's a strength because he knows he's got to pitch inside. If he doesn't pitch inside, he's probably got a chance for going the other way on him. That X program, he was working with a sinker down and away, and then the 4-seamer up and into the hands. To the right-handers, he was trying to sink it back over the outside edge and then run the 4-seamer up and into their hands. That played well for him, and he understands that part of it, that he's got to be able to work the ball in for strikes and to move them off. He has a good feel for it out there. He reads swings pretty well.
Even going back to his time in the minor leagues or spring training, was his ability to pound the bottom of the strike zone something that stood out to you guys, and how have you seen that sort of play out recently since he's taken this spot as a starter?
I think that's part of it, but I don't, you know, again, we don't need to figure it all out now. He's still learning up here. He's shown the ability to pitch down. He has shown that. And the 2-seamer, And I think he got to a point in spring training and realized that he's got a weapon in that two-seamer. And that has become a pitch that he's used more. But he's shown the ability to pick up the curveball, throw the slider, which was a problematic pitch for him at times last year, and he's had to work through that. Now it's become a pitch. He hasn't backed off and he hasn't gotten results. You know, he stayed steadfast to what he believes he can do and continued to work at it, and hasn't let some challenging times or some bad results push him away from something. He continues to work at it to improve it. And the overall package is very solid right now.